In a little town of Victoria, Texas, there lived a man by the name of Aaron Bones. Bones was a good name for him because he was nothing but skin and bones. He was so skinny. And Aaron Bones had a nervous condition. If somebody would look at him or start to talk to him, his knees started knocking and his ribs started rattling and his teeth started chattering away. They called him clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack Bones, clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack Bones. Now, clickety-clack was in love with a little girl by the name of Berta Martinez. And Berta was known all over the county for this delicious Mexican dessert she made called pastel de tres leches, 3-milk cake. It's delicious. I'm sure a lot of you, how many of you have had pastel de tres leches? Well, hers was great, and Clickety-Clack loved it, and he loved Berta Martinez as well. But Berta Martinez, she kind of liked the fiddler man. She loved how he'd sit up on her porch and he'd play a sweet song on the fiddle. But the fiddler man was not always around, and Clickety-Clack was. He'd follow her home from the grocery store carrying her grocery bags. She'd say, "Gracias, Clickety-Clack." And his knees started knocking and his ribs started rattling and his teeth started chattering away. And after a while, she started thinking it was kind of cute. And the fiddler man was fiddling around off somewhere, and so it ended up that Clickety-Clack and Berta Martinez got married. It was a beautiful wedding. Everybody in the town came out because they loved to watch Clickety-Clack dance. And in no time at all, there were uno, dos, tres, 3 little Clickety-Clackers. And time went on. Things were going well at the Bones family until one day, Clickety-Clack was coming in from the garden. It was real hot, and all of a sudden, his knees started knocking, and his ribs started rattling, and his teeth started chattering away. And Clickety-Clack Bones fell down dead. Oh, never was there a more mournful day in the city of Victoria, Texas, when it passed from lip to lip. Clickety-Clack Bones is dead. Everybody came out for the funeral. The graveyard was full. There was even a xylophone player playing along. And even the fiddler man was there. And he played what some people said was a rather inappropriately lively song over the grave of Clickety-Clack. And night came. And they all went back to Berta Martinez's house. And she brought out the pastel de tres leches and lit the candles, and it was wonderful. And just as she started to slice off a big piece of cake, the door flew open, and there stood Clickety-Clack. And I'm not talking flesh and bones Clickety-Clack. I'm talking skeleton Clickety-Clack. She said, "Clickety-Clack, you're dead. Estás muerto." "No estoy. You are too. You're a corpse. Un cadáver." "No soy." "Yes, you are. You're a dead man. Un difunto." "No soy." "Clickety-Clack, You are stone dead. You are graveyard dead. You are Day of the Dead dead. Well, I just came back for some of your pastel de tres leches, pastel de tres leches. Just give me a piece of your pastel de tres leches. Dancing on the ceiling, he was dancing on the floor, he was dancing on the walls, and he was dancing out the door. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack bones. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack bones. Now, that was all right to happen just once. But the next night, the same thing happened. And the same thing happened the night after that. And night after night, noche tras noche, she'd bring out that pastel de tres leches. The door would fly open and there would be clickety-clack, dancing on the ceiling and dancing on the floor and dancing on the walls and dancing in the door. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack bones. Night after night, week after week, month after month. It was getting old. Berta Martinez and the fiddler men, they were ready to take up courting, and there was clickety-clack. So the fiddler man had an idea. He brought his fiddle out and put it on the table where it was close by. And that night, when she brought out the cake, and once again she picked up that knife to cut it, and the door flew open, and he said, pastel de tres leches, pastel de tres leches, just give me a piece of that pastel de tres leches. Dancing on the ceiling and dancing on the floor, dancing on the walls and dancing in the door. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack bones. Well, the fiddler, he picked up his fiddle and he started playing. But he started playing faster and faster and faster and faster. And pretty soon, there was clickety-clack dancing faster and faster and faster. And all of a sudden, pop, one of his arms fell off. But that didn't stop the fiddler man. He kept playing faster and faster. And clickety-clack danced faster and faster. And pretty soon, pop, his head fell off. And there was clickety-clack looking down at himself, looking up at himself. But he kept on dancing faster and faster, and the fiddler man kept playing faster and faster. And pretty soon, pop, 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 all of his fingers fell off, and he kept on dancing. And the fiddler man, he kept on playing, and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And all of a sudden, pop, 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 pop. He was nothing but a stack of bones. Berta came out with the tablecloth. They wrapped up all the bones, took them out in the yard, and they buried clickety-clack under the mesquite tree. Well, the fiddler man and Berta, they took up courting, and in no time at all, they got married. And then after that, pretty soon, there were uno, dos, tres, three little fiddle faddlers. And in Victoria, Texas, to this day, on a warm night, and most of them are down there, the breeze comes in from the Gulf, and there's a vibration in the air. And you look out there and you can hear him. He's dancing on the ceiling and dancing on the floor. He's dancing on the walls. He's dancing through the door. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack bones. You can hear him. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack bones. He's out there. Clickety-clack, 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 clickety-clack bones.